Namaste Internet. Welcome to my channel Vipin Mishra Project, where I upload original music, which is what I do for a living, and motor vlogs, which I do for fun. Today is a motor vlog and we are taking out the very exciting new Ducati offering, the DesertX. Got to thank Infinity Bombay for giving it to me for 24 hours, which meant that I took it everywhere, obviously. 207 kilometers of riding, to be exact, in the city, on the highways, and of course, some crazy dirt tracks. So this is going to be a rider experience video across all of those terrains for you to be able to experience and see if the DesertX is the right bike for you. Alright, let's get started. Well, the story starts in my basement because I'm riding out Ashi to Infinity Ducati to pick up the new Ducati DesertX. The cars keep kissing each other in Bombay, but it's a nice early evening. The roads are empty thanks to Mr. Modi, but not for too long. This is the traffic I'm going to be riding the DesertX through. There it is, the Ducati showroom. Park up Ashi. Remember to take my mesh, something that I never write about. I bought this from Lazy Ass Bikers. Great guys, great store. Ooh, look at that. What a sweet looking bike. Gorgeous. I love when they do the retro to modern bikes. Apparently it's called post-heritage design.
Hi, I'm Vipin.
Yes. Sawmill.
Sawmill?
Yeah.
How are you?
How are you? But it's
Well, after exchanging a few laughs, it was time to ask the question.
Awesome. Okay. So then should I take it and scoot?
yes.
Well, that's what I did. I scooted.
So the one thing that I got to tell you straight away is that it feels smaller. It doesn't feel as big as the After. No? The clutch is a bit grabby, but then I've been riding a DCT, so it just feels like I'm riding a smaller bike. Definitely closer to a dirt bike. I am not going to go too fast.
That is a wise decision, Mr. Mishra. You've only ridden it for like 3 minutes maybe.
And of course this jackass of an auto guy will sort of block the route.
With 875 mm seat height, the DesertX is about 20 mm higher than Ashi.
Let's see how maneuverable this is. Oh yeah. This is good. Yeah. Definitely nimble. Power delivery is very nice and linear. I'm in the urban mode right now, and very nice and linear power delivery. Doesn't scare you or anything like that.
The DesertX so far is making for a very fun city bike, simply because of its great handling and Ducati manners. I mean, this guy suddenly swerves right, no problem. You just brake, the balance stays bang on.
Oh, it handles nicely, there's no doubt about it. You feel at home straight away. Feels years ahead, I must say, of the Africa Twin. The clutch is the only thing. It comes into play very late.
The DesertX comes with the Pirelli Scorpion Rally STR tubeless tires, and they feel, well, really great.
Confidence inspiring, just like you expected to run.
The DesertX is also really nimble and easy to squeeze through those little nooks and corners between auto rickshaws and cars, and that's the only way to get by in Bombay traffic. And I think that's because of the really low CG. I mean, the balance is so good that you feel very confident in, well, squeezing through little spaces.
So I just moved it to rally mode and it definitely just changes the bike completely. Rally mode means it's got full power, so it's like really fast. There's no doubt about it. And this is the scary fast Ducati car that I know. And this bike really feels light. I'm just going to change the mode back, reset tip info. No, I don't want to.
Ducati being Ducati, they've given you few buttons with each button having multi-functionality. You know, you press it long enough, it changes. You press it short, it changes. I just personally prefer the single button, single functionality concept.
Let's see what that feels like. I can feel the heat, no doubt about it. Heat management for Ducati, I think, will remain a problem. And we're in the best season of Bombay, so it doesn't get any cooler than this, even though we are at 4 p.m. right now.
Well, the DesertX makes you want to take her everywhere. Every nook, every corner, every little space that you find, it's so well balanced at slow speeds.
Well, the initial impression is just, well, it doesn't seem as though you're riding a new bike. It is so comfortable. The balance is the best ADV that I've sat on, without a doubt. It feels much smaller, it feels much lighter, it's easy through traffic. The modes are very prominent and different in their in the way that they deliver the power, in the way that the engine behaves. I mean, you move it from urban to rally and it becomes a bike which is, you know, from being very linear to being a full powered mode in the rally mode. And then in enduro, even on tarmac, I could feel the extra torque kicking in. So I don't know how they've done it. Obviously it's a mix and match of the amount of power that the engine supplies, the EC lets the engine get, but I think it's much more than that. Reading up would be really interesting, but very impressed. Apart from the heat management, I mean, we're right now in December, we're in Jan 2023, right? It's 4:17. This is the coolest it'll get in Bombay, and I can feel the heat. I mean, never gets this hot on my Africa tour. So that's the one thing that I've noticed. But anyways, tomorrow I'm going to take her out and we're going to have some fun. Right now I'm back at the basement of my studio, and so yeah, see you tomorrow morning, I guess.
Good morning. It's time to take the DesertX out. First on the highway, and then on some dirt tracks. It's 5:20 a.m. I'm hoping to be out there early, along with the bros who'll be on their enduro bikes. Alright, let's get kitted up.
The squeaky morning walk down. My new neighbor has put this fancy mirror so I can double check on my outfit. There she is, the DesertX. Let's switch her on and let's hit the road. I quite like the TFT design and display on the DesertX. They've used just the right amount of colors for you to be able to, differentiate between the different information, and they haven't really gone batshit crazy using all the colors of the palette. And yes, it is very readable, as you can see. Well, as I switch on the high beam, it does seem more than enough. We'll talk more about that later. As of now, the trouble that I'm facing is I'm finding it very difficult to change gears with my motocross boots. that's not a big deal. All you got to do is create more space by adjusting the gear shifter lever.
I'm using the high beam so that you can also see that the city is pitch dark. There are no street lights. There's construction all over. And these crazy ass auto drivers, even at this time of the morning, are occupying all lanes. But very comfortable to ride, even in this limited visibility. The headlights are doing a great job. Yes, all in all, very comfortable.
Well, here I am at the meeting point where I'm supposed to meet Pro Bro Mehdi. I'm running a little late and I'm a little, well, sheepish about it. But, oh, I don't see him anywhere, which means he is running even more late.
Someone is running very, very late. How's it going, bro?
Good. Nice. It's nice.
DesertX LED X version 2.0 GPX.
White elephant.
White elephant. Yeah. Shall we?
So my light's not very good. So if you can stay behind me with the high
Yes.
beam on, I'll be very
Sure thing.
How do you feel?
Very nice. Very, very nice. Much smaller and lighter than any other ADV that I've ridden. That's what it feels like. But we'll know.
Of course we'll know. The dirt is yet to come.
Bro has taken off straight away. Welcome back to Riding with the Bro.
The second meeting point where we're supposed to meet Moni, he too is running late.
I think it's the cold weather, everybody's running late. But it definitely feels like, because of the wind blast and because of the noise of the engine, because the Honda is much quieter and like more calm. So I was like, when we were doing the highway, I thought, oh, this must be like really fast. And I looked down and we were at like 114 or 115 kilometers an hour.
You're doing 114?
Yeah.
I was doing 114.
Yeah, about that. 112, 114. On the highway at the peak? Yeah. Oh, sorry, on the flyover. But it feels like much faster. The Honda feels a little more calm.
The engine is more loud
Louder, much louder.
and rough.
Rougher, like Ducati. Which is nice in a way.
Well, here he was, second bro Moni on his Husky 310. Alright, let's ride into the sunrise. Well, it was a beautiful morning to start with. I was really enjoying this ride and my time with the DesertX so far, no doubt about it. This is also a good opportunity to evaluate the DesertX as a tourer. I mean, if you were to do a lot of highway runs, what would it be like? Look at Bro on his two-stroke. Anyways, so I have found that the DesertX, the sweet spot in terms of keeping a speed and enjoying it is about 95 kilometers to about 115 kilometers an hour. That is the speed at which I found it to be the most comfortable. One of the main reasons is the small screen. Now the small screen has a fair bit of wind blast that does pass on to the rider, which means that if you want to go any faster, you do get a lot of that wind noise and the wind blast. Having said that, the 92 Nm of torque that this bike has means that regardless of which gear and what speed you are at, it really picks up fast. So you're never really, out of steam at any given gear ratio. Which is not to say that the DesertX is not fast. I mean, this is a good road to see you know, how fast it gets. So I'm just going to give it a bit of a twist in the throttle and go up to a speed where I'm comfortable. At this point, the wind blast starts to get quite hectic. There's a lot of steam left in the engine. I'm going to slow it down now. This is getting a bit shaky for me. And yeah, so I mean, by the looks of that, obviously the engine has more, but the design of the bike is such that I don't think you will ever feel secure and comfortable doing 175 or 200 kilometers per hour. And anyways, the way I look at it is, if you're on a highway, you have no business to be cruising at that speed. It's a good idea. This whole sweet spot between, you know, 95 to 120, that really works out. And that is Bro Mehdi. He's giving the DesertX a try, and I'm riding his 2-stroke Suzuki, and it's a good opportunity for me to be able to see and show you how the bike looks. Yeah, it's got a nice minimalistic design to it. It's got a very lean dirt bike sort of a design and vibe to it. I really do like it.
Okay, so now I try the Husky.
It was one of those days where everybody got to try all the bikes, but hey, this is about the DesertX. So let's get back to it and to the most fun part of this motor diary. So how good is the DesertX on actual dirt?
Yeah, all you do is
Changing modes on the DesertX is very simple, and the modes really change the bike. For these sort of trails, we'll select the Enduro mode.
Okay, I'm behind you. Go. So GoPro is getting the first hand and taking the desert sled off road. It sure looks great. I mean, it looks like it belongs there in a way. Really awesome.
Well, these are nice and easy flowing dirt tracks, and straight away you get the feel that Bro is feeling comfortable with the bike, because at the end of the day it is about a 200 kg plus bike.
Nice trails here.
And that is the dry weight, which means right now we would be at about maybe 208 or 9 kgs. And yeah, I mean, there's a fair bit of gradient, there's loose sand, there's rocks. And on this sort of a surface, yeah, you just got to keep going. You got to keep your momentum up, because otherwise, once you sort of lose that momentum, you just lose traction, and then it's an uphill task, pun intended. But yeah, the DesertX is doing very well, I'd say, and Bro seems to be very comfortable.
For you guys to see, because the GoPro's angle, I'm not sure. I can't really see the screen. Yeah. How's it feeling? How's it feeling so far?
Good, yeah, nice.
Easy, no?
Yeah, it feels like the 390, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Chalo, carry on. I'm giving you. I'm giving back here. Sorry, all of us have had a hand in everything. Okay, back to the DesertX.
So from here on, we'll be using 3 cameras, one on each of the Bros. So don't you be getting confused.
Lovely. Namaskar ji. Sab ठीक ठाक?
That is Moni's camera. He's following me. That is my camera. And that is Bro's camera, who's in front of me. This here is a typical village in Maharashtra. Oh, sorry, doggy. And yeah, we'll be getting through the narrow lanes. Another good place where you can see how well balanced really the DesertX is. Otherwise, any larger bike with these really tight turns becomes a bit of a problem, but not with the DesertX at all.
right through the village with the DesertX. Namaskar. So he's just saying that there is no road from here, and he's right about it. This is actually a walking path.
I think I might have forgotten to mention this bit to Ducati India when they were giving the bike, about taking it on a walking trail. But once they see the video,
Yep.
I'm sure
There it is.
they'll be okay with it. Or unless I drop the bike, then we'll know. Right now we are trying to find our way out because a lot of the fields are fenced. That little crack in the wall, no bro, I'm sorry, but I don't think my big bike can fit in there.
Idhar se?
Yeah, that seems to be okay. These turns on gradients are always a little tricky on the big heavy bikes. That also looks narrow, but will she, won't she? She did. She's not as big as the other ones. I mean, try getting a GS 1250 through that crack. That'll be that. You'll just be sitting on the fence on the other side and your friends will be having all the fun. Okay, a nice big embankment. There you go. So that's the thing. It's a very, very dirt bike sort of a feel. I mean, they've really built it, purpose built it for these trails.
This does seem like it'll head somewhere. Luckily the fields are dry, so we can go through the fields. Yeah. Nice narrow. Okay. Yeah, that's good. Namaskar. Come on in. Fun. Don't drop it. Aha.
So Ducati claims that this is a brand new chassis which they have developed using all of their knowledge base, and it is specifically keeping off-road use in mind. And if that is the case, all I've got to say here is that they've really, really succeeded.
Straight up.
This is a nice incline. Keep in mind that I'm running the stock tires on the Ducati. The Scorpion STR are not exactly 50-50 tires.
Yeah.
But they're doing just fine. I wouldn't complain much about them for any reason, to be honest with you. But then again, this is the dry season. Come monsoons, that'll be a completely different story.
The torque is insane.
It's also pretty easy to be able to get some cool drifts on the bike. That's because in the enduro mode the traction control is not completely off, so it doesn't let you overspin it, but it does let you get enough of a drift. Suddenly I felt I was a better motorcyclist than I actually am.
Oh, it's sliding in enduro, huh?
The suspension on the DesertX, the Kayaba long stroke suspension with a 46mm upside down fork, fully adjustable, is sublime. So how about, now that we've done some single track trails, we test it further. Let's take it on this rocky patch. Have a good look at the line and go for it.
Oh, you let it flow. Oh, you let it flow, man. Yeah. That's it. There is Moni on the sled. Let's get it.
For some reason, the desert sled just sticks with me. This is the DesertX and not the sled. And for the record, Moni and I have been riding for very long, and he's never really ridden my Africa Twin here, which goes to show that the DesertX, even in the way that it looks, is not that intimidating. It makes riders want to give it a go, want to do stuff that they probably wouldn't on other little class ADV bikes.
That really is the thing. When you make a bike like a dirt bike, you know, you can just have a lot of fun with it.
I can't get into second, my boots too thick.
Oh yeah. That is, but just get it, like dig it in, and you'll be able to do that. Yeah. Or keep it in second. This is quite a sweet spot. Look at what Pro Bro is up to.
Pro Bro is going nuts. But coming back to that sweet spot in the second gear, that's the other thing which they've got bang on, the gear ratios. I mean, you could stay in that second gear on trails like this pretty much the entire day. Moni here is trying to go down slow, which again shows that if somebody can, you know, jump on the bike and within a few minutes be comfortable not needing that momentum all the time, it goes to show a lot about the bike. There, any other bike, any other little class bike with that angle, no ways he could have kept it back straight. I mean, even with Ashi, 100% that would have gone down.
Just for the record, we have a traction control error. I don't know what that means, but yeah.
So there was some traction error that cropped up. What it meant, well, I don't know. The bike felt just fine.
There we go. It's a hard life in the village. Namaskar.
But yes, if I was on a long trip and I saw an error, that would have played on my mind.
So if I put the camera any down, then you won't get to see the sky at all. So
the camera position, which accommodates both sitting and standing, is something which I'm yet to figure out.
To be honest with you, I'm finding this easier to ride than the Husky. The Suzuki, I haven't taken the two-stroke off the hood, but this is just so nice and smooth. Suspensions are so much better. Man, to be honest with you, I'm finding this more easier to ride than the Husky.
Than this?
Yeah.
That's way, this is way easier.
I don't know, right now I'm just, the suspension is cool, the power is linear, the clutch is not grabbing, it's just foo. But yeah, obviously the weight when it kicks in.
The weight, yeah.
Yeah, but right now...
You're used to this, you're used to that. You're used to a big ADV bike.
Big ADV probably, yeah. But yeah, pretty easy.
Well, that said, now I'm going to be eating Moni's dust. Nobody likes to be told that the bike that they're riding is better than theirs.
Pro is taking the shortcut, which there's no chance of the big ADV.
So this probably is a great spot to test the DesertX in a rally-like situation, which would be, you know, much faster flowing tracks.
Man, this thing flies.
And it does fly, no doubt about it. Again, the suspension and the handling and the steering dampener, which I forgot to talk about in detail, but yeah, it's must be playing a part because you just feel that much at ease. The only time when you actually feel the weight, although, is when you're coming downhill and you want to brake. You really do feel all of those 205, 206, 210 kgs that the bike might be at that time when you're coming down and you want to brake. But then again, well, it is 210 odd kgs along with all the fluids, and it's got to show somewhere.
Just look at that. Oh man, that is a view. That is a view.
Oh, that's what it's about.
Beautiful, man. What a view, huh?
Yeah.
Too good.
Further down, they were building a road. First, I thought I'd avoid the big stones. Then I said, oh, this is a good opportunity. Let's try it out. And sure enough, the Desert X took it all with ease. It handled beautifully.
So I suppose you could go down to the lake from here now. It's sublime is all I can say.
Well, to be honest, I've literally taken the Desert X across all terrains right here in front of you. We were in the city, we were on the highway, and right now we are here on these dirt trails. You know, some of them are single track, some of them are long and flowy, some of them are very rocky, some of them need to be done at slow speeds with a lot of control, which is where the bike really shines. Those are the trickiest ones. So essentially, I think it's about that time where we should do a roundup on what the bike is really about. But before we go there, another sticky situation which most large bike owners hate
Unless you're stupid, the bike's really well bad.
is coming to a dead end and then having to do a tight turn.
Okay,
So let's see how the Desert X fares.
turn back then, eh?
This way it gets a bit tough for the Desert X. Turning around.
I just use the gradient and you'll be fine.
Oh, Pro Bro just did a pivot turn there. Pretty cool. So coming back to it, yeah, I mean, that was a tight turn there. You use the gradient, you get it done. Try some new single track lines. The bike makes you feel confident enough to do that, and you've got to give that credit to the bike as well. Yes, with the 875mm seat height, most people who do not have a decent technique will find it intimidating, but then that is a reason for you to work hard to get that technique better. We put her through some even more technical sections like this trail. It's a narrow uphill trail with very less margin for error, and here comes that off camber angle, which is always tricky on a big bike. Usually if you rev a little too much, the rear will just spin out.
That had me a little nervous.
Yeah, off camber.
It's a bit too much torque, no? Just very gentle.
The tire didn't slip, huh?
But I was a bit nervous on the camber.
Yeah,
Because,
carry momentum.
yeah.
Otherwise, if you get on the gas.
Yeah. Can't miss this opportunity.
You should not whips.
Gotta take a picture.
Yes, this one is for you, my Insta friends. It is time to conclude what has been a wonderful rider experience of the Ducati DesertX. And may I dare to say that the Desert X is the best ADV bike out there if you are looking at off-road adventures. It is purpose built for off-road and dirt and trails and rocks, and I don't think there is a better ADV for doing off-roads that exists in the world at this point. And I know that's a very drastic and tall claim to make, but in my opinion, the engineers at Ducati have hit the ball out of the park. The suspension on this bike is just simply sublime. It takes in everything that you throw at it, and at the same time it provides you with great feedback, and it doesn't take a dive if you brake hard. There is no nosedive on the bike. The CG is so low and so centered that at no point do you want to sort of, rush in and put your foot down. I personally love this, post-heritage styling. I would go far enough to say that the Desert X is my dream bike. But then, like everything else, all dreams must come to an end. Well, I hope you had fun seeing that rider experience of the Desert X. If you have enjoyed it, please do hit subscribe, hit that bell icon. And I'm not just saying it. What's happening is that although I personally don't give a flying fuck about this social media following, it just so happens that brands do. It just so happens that it enables you to make the content that you want to in a better way. And so for that reason, I ask you, my friend, to please do all of that. Try and subscribe. Try and share it with the friends who you think will like this content. Try and post it on your social media feed. It helps. And same ditto with the music stuff that I put out. I mean, there's so many of you who tell me that you like it and you enjoy it. And all I'm asking is that it's now time to start building this community. And I need your help for that. So yeah, it would be lovely if you could do that. And for all those who've watched right here till the end, thank you for watching. I'll see you soon. This is Vipin Mishra saying bye for now. Ride hard, ride safe.